What's up, guys? It's your boy Dorian here with Collider Games, and with me today is our very own Wendy Lee. How are you doing today, Wendy?
I am doing so good. How are you?
Good. So if you're not familiar with Wendy on the Collider Games channel, you can see her over on Collider Video, and she's our main girl here at Collider. So just wanted to bring her on because she actually owns Smash, and we had to bring her in here for this review. So Wendy, you got Smash a few weeks ago. How do you like it so far?
I think it might be one of my favorite iteration of Smash. I've played all of them, all the way from Melee to Brawl to... I didn't own the Wii one because I didn't own a Wii, but I got the Wii U one. I have the 3DS one, and then we have the Switch one, which this one's the most vast. It has all the fighters. So it's like 70 or maybe more. There's over 100 maps. So it's just, there's just so much to take in. Like if you want a really like thorough review, you're gonna have to let someone play this game
for hours,
or not
days.
just hours. Yeah, I would say give them the full week and just let them play, because there's different modes. So you have like the Smash mode, which is the multiplayer mode. There's online. There is all the challenges. There is classic mode, which is probably one of the coolest ones if you're playing solo, at least for me, because you get to fight as, say, we'll take Link for an example. And Link has a little roadmap of all the different fighters he has to fight through. You have the bonus level that I never pass because I'm really bad at jumping levels. So I usually just jump off and I die, and then it says failed, but it's a bonus, so it's okay. And then you all get all the way through to the hand, so you play the master hand. And it's just a good way for you to practice too with like the players or the fighters that you're not familiar with. So that's a mode that I like. Another mode that they added, which is quite interesting. I never thought they would do this for Smash, but they did, and I don't hate it. I actually enjoy it, but it's so much. It's the World of Light adventure mode, story mode, and you start off with one character, and that character is Kirby.
And if you're not familiar with the World of Light of what she's talking about, if you've probably seen it online, that the trailer of this, you see all these lights shooting down, chasing all these characters, and then them just getting destroyed. So where it picks up is yeah, pretty much. This is the Infinity War video game. So where it picks up is what she's talking about with just Kirby, and then where do you go from there?
And then from Kirby, you have different little routes that you can take, and every where you go in the map, there's a little glowy dot, and from there you fight a puppet fighter where inside is trapped a spirit, and then once you can successfully beat that puppet fighter, then you go to the next scene, which we never got to in our gameplay here because we were just doing not so well. Like I couldn't see the challenges.
I was getting my ass beat. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and
do it gets harder and harder as it goes on. So you get so frustrated. You're like, what can I do? You kind of just like rage quit, and then you pick it up later. But once you get past, once you defeat the fighter, you have to actually free the spirit. So you have the fighter here. You have a little sphere, and you have to shoot like a ray of light or through a gun and free the spirit that way. You have to make sure you get it through that gap in the circle, because if you don't, I guess, I don't know, I haven't failed, thank God, knock on wood. But if you failed, I don't know, if you don't get to unlock it, you have to pay coins and try again or what. But that's how you unlock the spirits. And then from there, with the spirits, what you can do is you equip your player, your main player, with those spirits, and they have special skills and special statuses that help bump up your player in a game, which it's something I haven't really seen before in Smash, so that's like a really welcoming addition that I liked. Yeah,
that's one thing, because I got to play it a little bit with Wendy. We tested it out there, and that's one of the bigger things I noticed from the new game is the customization feature. That's something I would have never thought would be incorporated into Smash, but it works well. Like, you'll get to see what we're talking about a little bit more in detail. But adding these little spirits and these little bonus equip things that boost your character's stats, whether it be them getting more health or a stronger attack or anything like that, I thought that was a really cool feature, because you just in all the previous Smashes, it's just the same old, nothing really changes. But with this one, you have to be tactical about your decisions as it progresses, which I thought was really cool. And something else I noticed is just all of the stages. Like if you haven't played this game, or if you're not on Switch yet, this definitely, for me, after playing it now, I'm definitely wanting to get a Switch just for this game, because it brought back that nostalgia of when I was a little kid playing it on the GameCube, and it had all those stages, and it's just like it feels familiar, just better graphics and better details. So overall, like, what would you say to convince somebody if they're a Smash fan but not on Switch, like what would you say to them? Like, do you think it's worth it?
I think it's worth it. I think the graphic is gorgeous, and this is one of the cool things about Switch. That the point of the Switch is you can play it on your TV at home, and you can pick it up and take it with you, right? It's supposed to be portable. So if you picked up Super Smash on the 3DS, it's like tiny. It's like the screen is like this big. So it was really, well, it's fun, and you can still take it with you everywhere. I know people had trouble with, they can't see as well. The buttons, they smash so hard the buttons come off. With this one, when you click it into the portable console, it actually, because the screen's much bigger, it transfers really, really well from the TV to the home, except the one, and this is just for me, the controls when you're playing with these Joy-Cons, either by itself or you have it clicked into the system, it still doesn't feel quite as comfortable as a Pro Controller. So if you're gonna take it with you on the go, I would say either take a Pro Controller with you if you can, or like the attachment that comes with it, or you can make like click two together and play that way, because playing it like this, and maybe it's just because I have small hands, it just didn't work for me. Like I couldn't quite grab the controller, and it was hard for me to do some of the smash moves because I felt like my fingers were slipping. And then two, if you're playing at home with your friends, don't hand them a Joy-Con. And I don't even have the full attachment, which is why it looks a little weird because I left it at home. But this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is a mean joke for someone wanting to be like, yeah, hey, you want to play Smash? Well, here you go. Here's a tiny little controller. When we're used to like the GameCube controllers.
That's another thing. I guess a con we were already discussing was, the controllers. If you have multiple people, like if you have 8 people, only a few switches between y'all, then this is the best way to go about doing it. But if it's just like you two, you definitely try to get the controllers, because your boy, and I naturally just have big hands.
Like
so,
look at just flip it and show them.
Like look, I naturally have big hands, so it covers it up. Like I was able to adjust and still play and still have a good time, but that is one thing. If I had an actual controller, I'd probably be kicking even more ass instead of like trying to adjust to my fingers to each dial pad. But that's one inconvenience overall. But what would you give it score-wise out of 10?
I actually want to give it a really high score. It's nearly perfect. I would say some of the flaws are, one, the controls that you have to get if you really want to get your Smash on. You really want to go for a Pro Controller, or if you're lucky enough and you still have your GameCube or you bought one of those with the adapter, that's the best way to play, because these babies, like by itself, it's just, you're not going to get the full experience. So you would have to spend extra money to get the better controllers. And to the online play, we didn't really explore that while we were playing, but the online play is not great. It really, it depends on the other person's internet connection, and it's just not good when they're lagging and you can't get the full experience of the gameplay with them. And I tried a couple of times, and it just was, I had a lot of trouble with it, so I just left. And I was like, I have good internet at home, but not everybody has the good internet, or sometimes the system can't handle all of that. So it's just, I wanted to play online with just people from all over the world, and it just was such a problem for me, and that kind of knocks down the score. For me, I'm going to give this game an 8.7 out of 10.
That's dope. And to that internet issue, maybe hopefully in future updates they can patch that up into where it's more compatible online. But just from my experience, and I've only played it for about a few hours, and I got to play it at E3 with Frank, and you can check out that video as well. But I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, and that's just my initial impression. So my initial impressions are a 9 out of 10. Once I fully sit down and once I get a Switch, I can actually give you a more detailed review. But in my personal opinion, this is a game that you want to buy a Switch for, because going into 2019, I'm going to get a Switch. I'm going to get Super Smash and going to get Pokemon Let's Go. Like, the Switch is killing it, and they're having Marvel Alliance 3 exclusively for the Switch. So if you're going to jump in now, it's the right time to do it. But expect a lot more Super Smash coverage. Maybe we'll have some tournaments in the office in the next year or so, but expect a lot more coverage from us here at Collider Games. Make sure to like, subscribe. And where can they find you, Wendy?
You can find me on the internet. You can find me on the internet on Twitter and Instagram at WendyLee's80.
And you already know you can find me, Dorian Parks and Rec, because Parks and Rec is better than The Office. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you later for another video. Peace out, guys.